on market segmentation as a tool for product design, we shall be looking at one aspect of market segmentation. And my little research and understanding shows that your market is segmented in 4 different dimensions or pillars. There is the demographics of your market, there is the psychographics of your market, you have the geographics of your markets, and then of course there is the behavioral segmentation or demarcation of the market that you serve. So in this series, we shall be focusing on the demographics, the market demographics that you serve. Now, when you talk about the demographics of your market, there are 5 critical elements or components to the demographics of a market. The first is the age of the demography. Second is the marital status of the demography that you serve. The third one is the gender of the market you serve. Now, all of these things are very important. In designing your product, you need to pay attention to. Perhaps you've not been doing it. Maybe you've been selling, maybe you've not been selling, but this is meant after conducting research over the years. I've found out that the companies and the products that are selling, they've paid attention to 1 or 2 or more of these critical elements that drive the segmentation of every market. For example, when I talked about gender, what sells to the male gender doesn't necessarily sell to the female gender. Ethnic background is another component of the demographics. Of course, that's why certain things that you can sell here in Lagos, Nigeria, West Africa, when you take it up north, it will not sell because their ethnicity has not prepared them to appreciate those kind of products. And of course, the income level. So I've mentioned 5 things: the age of the demographic, the marital status of the demographic, the gender of the demographics, the ethnic background of the demographic, and the income level of your demographics. These are the things that drive the demographic, the demography of the market that you are dealing with. I'd like us to do what I call the dimensioning of the age demographics, right? So I'm going to go through the years or the years for each generation according to different schools of thought. Please note that the exact year range for each generation are somewhat debatable, and then different researchers and experts may define the range slightly different. Now some researchers and experts use different names or year range for different generations, but the most important thing is for you to understand the idea behind it. So I'm going to take us through a journey of 7 different generations. We're going to list 7 different generations, and I'll pick on one for this episode. Now, there's the traditionalist generation. They are made up of people born between 1922 and 1945. Then after the traditionalists, we have the baby boomers. Baby boomers are people born between 1945 or 1946 and 1963. Like I said, some other school of thought say no, they are between 1946 and 1964. Now, after the baby boomers, we have the Generation X or the Gen X. People born between 1964 and 1979. Other people say no, they are born between 1965 and 1980. 1 year, 2 year difference. Then we have the Gen Y, or the Generation Y, or the millennials. Millennials are people born between 1980 and 1994, I think precisely. Some others think that they are born between 1991 and 1996. Then we have the Gen Z. Gen Zs, or the Generation Z, are born between 1995 and 2010. Some others think they are born between 1997 and 2010 as well. Then after the Gen Z, we have the Gen A, or the Gen Alpha. Gen Alphas are people born between 2011 and 2026. Others think that they are born between 2010 and 2025. Then after Gen A, we have the Gen B, or the Gen Beta, the Beta generation. They will be born between 2027 and 2043. They are not yet born, so very little research details is available right now. But for this episode, I'm going to be taking us on understanding the traditionalist generation, exploring the values, the experiences, and impact of those born between 1925 and 1945. And these people are, like I said, they are still alive. I mean, they are people between the ages of 79 years and 102 years. as of 2024 when this recording is being recorded. So let me take that again. Anyone between the ages of 79 years and 102 years as of 2024 is from the traditionalist generation. Some of them are still heading organizations, some of them are in our political class, that kind of thing. Now, the traditionalist generation, they are referred to as the silent generation, right? The reason for the alternative naming, well, they say it's a generation characterized by their adherence to traditional values and their tendency to avoid conflict, leading to a quieter environment or societal presence because of the experiences that they've gone through. They saw the war, right? They saw the war. They are, like I said, they were shaped by the Great Depression and the World War II, World War III, right? The traditionalists are considered hardworking and pragmatic generation. Now, the traditional generation are generally referred as a silent generation. This alternative naming could be because they said, it's a generation characterized by their adherence to traditional values and their tendency to avoid conflict, leading to a quieter societal presence compared to other generations. Again, like I said, they are born between 1925 and 1946. This generation was shaped by the Great Depression and the World War II. They uphold conservative values. They have respect for authority and a strong work ethic. They are very hardworking. They are a pragmatic generation. They value stability and they adhere to societal norms. All right, so for the traditionalist generation, I'm going to analyze them under certain context. Their technological adaptation, their level of traditional value, the years that they are born, like I said, and of course, there is that sense of their loyalty and patriotism. Now, when you discuss the traditionalist under technological adaptation, remember I said I haven't said it, but I will say here that they witnessed the rise of technology, right? They did, but for them, they adapt very cautiously. They are very loyal and patriotic. A generation, they stick to traditional values, right? According to there's a quote I saw somewhere. They said that the older generation is especially skilled, is especially remarkable for its survival skills and ability to survive against the odds. Remember, they saw the Great Depression and they saw the Second World War. In terms of their behavioral traits, one of the traits of this generation is stability, right? They seek consistency and predictability and a sense of security in their adventure. So your product has to speak to stability. The next thing that is a key behavioral trait for them is loyalty, right? They are loyal to a brand that they love, right? They love. The third thing about them is about their behavioral trait is personalized services, right? They appreciate personalized service and attention. Remember, they did banking in the days where they had account officers who would even bring money to them, who will take them through how to fill the form, who will technically run the account on their behalf. The last thing on their behavioral, or the next one on their behavioral trait is their preference for tradition, right? Their preference for tradition. They embrace tradition. Anything that gets them closer to the roots, they embrace it. Now, some product design considerations that you need to pay attention to. First is nostalgia and familiarity. Nostalgia and familiarity. The premium car manufacturers, they understand that very well. So they use certain rare woods to put on the panel, on the dashboard of the cars that they sell, that they present to them. They get the rarest wood in the forest, or one animal that is not very available everywhere. And they said the skin of the animal was used to make the shoe, or to make the handrest of this particular car. The next thing in your product design consideration is durability and longevity. They take pride in the fact that they bought this thing, it's original, imported, original Italy. This thing is, some of them are still keeping some of the things that they bought for their children or their grandchildren that they don't even have a clue if they have any inch of interest. The next is quality and craftsmanship. Craftsmanship. They appreciate quality. This generation appreciates whatever is quality, and they want to see that sense that regardless of your everything that you are put into it, that there is an element of human craftsmanship that has gotten into the design. The next is authenticity and heritage. So you build something and there's a story that it tells about their ethnicity. You build something and there's a story that it tells about their country or about their continent. It will get the attention of traditionalists. The next is functionality and practicality. They are not swayed by your design. They are not swayed by how sleek it is. Their first question is it functional? Can I use it? Is it very practical? And then, of course, timeless design is very important to them. They don't believe in a design that we come out this year, you come out with another one next year. Maybe that's why iPhone is probably not selling so much to them in our generation, because they want one phone that they can use for 10 years and they know that that phone is still in vogue, right? Now, some marketing insights. All right, I've mentioned some of them. First is traditional communication, right? They prefer communicating through more traditional means like phone calls or emails or billboards. They still believe in above the head market traditional means of media. Second is personal relationship. They value face-to-face interaction and personalized service. Please, this generation wants to see you. They don't want to deal with bots. They don't want to deal with a robot. They don't want you to do self-service for them. They don't want something to be talking to them that's not a human being. The third marketing insight I'll give to you is loyalty. Traditionalists tend to remain loyal to established brands over time. Loyalty. That's why when you come to my country, Nigeria and West Africa, most of them have not latched onto the digital bank system. They still prefer their traditional commercial banks. The digital banks are selling out with other generations, probably not the elderly or traditionalist generation, because remember, they embrace technology with caution. The next marketing insight is reliability. They prefer consistency and trustworthiness in brands. To effectively market to traditionalists, you must emphasize reliability. You must emphasize better long-term relationship management. You must utilize traditional communication channels. You still need to go to the newspapers. You still need to deploy the print media. They are on social media because their children or their grandchildren drag them there. But they still go and buy newspapers almost every morning. They still listen to radio. You want to reach them, you go through the radio. They still pass through the traditional post office. So you need to understand them, right? On the customer service importance, expect polite and respectful. They expect polite and respectful service. They expect it. They value prompt resolution of issues. They appreciate personalized attention, like I mentioned earlier. And if and when and at all time, they prefer face-to-face or phone interactions, not some robots or some bots. All right. Now, advertising preferences. The traditional generation, those, like I said, born between 1925 and 1945, they grew up in an era when print media and direct mail were the dominant forms of advertising. So as a result, they may still respond better to traditional advertising media that resonate with their experiences in life over time. As again, let me reiterate, in terms of technology adoption for this generation, right? You need to leverage, you need to provide training and support. Very important. But before then, you need to leverage familiarity and trust. Familiarity and trust. Don't tell them this thing can work and can do this for you. Tell them someone in their generation that they are familiar with. Tell them institutions that they are familiar with that are deploying it already. Because they build on trust. If they trust the person that you are doing business with, or they trust the person you have done business with, they are likely going to buy. Secondly, when they come on your technology platform, provide training and the needed support. Don't treat them the way you treat millennials, Gen Z, or maybe even Gen X. No, don't leave them to figure it out. They will exit. Provide the support they need, provide the training. The next thing after providing the training and the support, providing the training and offering the regular support for them is emphasize intuitive design. Please, intuitive design. Emphasize the importance of designing products with intuitive and user-friendly interfaces so that it will be easy for them to navigate and it will make their learning curve a bit shorter. Again, they don't have the patience for your manipulating your technology, so make it very user-friendly. And the last thing on technology, in terms of technology adoption, is identify technology adoption challenges that they might be having. Identify it, right? So, and you need to highlight it. Highlight those challenges and provide, solutions upfront, almost like an FAQ. If you have this problem, this is what you are supposed to do. Because again, the adoption to technology is with caution. So you don't want anything that will trigger their fear. You don't want anything that will. If you sense that there's any information that might filter to their ear and bring bias, be proactive to put it under your technology adoption challenge management. I hope this has been useful in getting you to understand the traditionalist generation and how best you can get them on your product line or service line. This is Crack It Live, and we'd like you to follow us on our social media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Crack It Live, and follow us on all our social media channels and handles at Crack It Live. Look forward to more editions and our breaking down of other generations in the subsequent editions. Thank you. Crack It Live is where you, as a business owner, entrepreneur, or top executive, get to experience Peter and the array of his association in the process of resolving business problems. The show equally allows people to call in directly or connect via Facebook, YouTube, IG, or any other social media platform as a reflective of the technology alignment and reality to what we are doing. At the Crack It Live business show, I get to conduct real strategy sessions which are aired online on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. This business syndicate show also runs on select TV and radio stations. Some episodes come pre-recorded and streamed live online. You might be wondering the objective of Crack It. 1 is to increase the success rate of African businesses. 2, democratize business strategy to SMEs. 3, midwife the batting of newer and category type business ideas. 4, level up and scale more businesses. Crack It Live seeks to provide solutions to individuals, businesses, governments, companies or corporations that have concerns with conceptualizing ideas or effectively executing concepts, and also in helping to address faults with businesses and enterprises. With interactive and practical real-life solutions, participants will gain in-depth insights into tackling their business concerns and finding the push to scale their businesses forward. There's therefore no need to worry any longer about struggling to navigate the challenges you have with your business or over a conceptualization problem. Just bring it to me at Crack It Live, and we will help you crack it.